Hello and welcome to Sucio Talk. I'd like to take this moment to thank all of you for your continued support. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can visit my Facebook page. It's Sucio_Talk. You can find that under my name, David Gijotti. For all of you who aren't my Facebook friend, come join me. I'm also happy to field any questions anybody has about previous episodes or people that you'd like to see on the show. Let me know. You can follow the link to email me at my Facebook page, or you can write into suciotalk@gmail.com. suciotalk@gmail.com. No underscore there. You can also DM me at David_Sucio. That's my Instagram name. I want this podcast to be of the community. I want to include you guys as much as I can, you chefs out there. So for this first round, I'd like to hear about crazy workplace stories, whether that has to do with service, cooking, or anything food related in general, or any cool stories regardless of what they have to do with. I'll do my best to field all the emails and kind of do a little story per episode. Don't also be afraid to tell your friends about this podcast, to raise awareness about it. I'm trying to blow this up so it's on a global market, but we'll see. I just started last month. This podcast is available on Google Podcast, Spotify, and Spreaker as of now. I'm working on dropping it on iTunes as well. And just letting you know a little bit about what's coming up. We have our next guest, which will be episode 5. Will be Mia Khalifa and Robert Sandberg. Chef Robert Sandberg worked at Noma, also worked at Franson when they won 3 stars. He's now working on his own project. Mia Khalifa is an amazing person, cool friend to be able to go and interview and see what she's been up to. She leads an interesting life, so I think you guys will be interested in what she has to say. Past that, the next episode after Mia and Robert is Chef Costow. Super happy to be able to sit down with my mentor and pick his brain a little bit about his younger years forming himself as a chef. All right, so this is David Sucio signing off, and please enjoy this next episode. This is Jason Mckinney, episode 4, Sucio Talk. Bienvenidos, welcome to Sucio Talk. I'm sitting here with my boy Jason Mckinney. We gotta let the music stop a little bit before I start talking. But hey, how are you, Jason? Nice to see you. Cheers.
Cheers, David.
Hell yeah. We're drinking Modelo's at the first incarnation of the Truffle Shuffle headquarters.
Yeah.
Am I right? Yeah.
The second, actually.
Yeah. A lot of employees have lived here. Mm-hmm. Tyler lived here.
Yep.
I've lived here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lie. But, I've stayed here a lot of times. So let me introduce Jason. He is a great chef and a great mentor to many now that he is co-founder and CEO, am I right, of Truffle Shuffle. You guys know a little bit about Truffle Shuffle because I talked to Tyler last time I was here, and they are, as of now, the unofficial sponsor of Sucio Talk. All right, so truffleshuffle.com, check it out. So Jason Mckinney, how are you?
Excellent. And you can make us the official sponsor.
All right, there you go. You hear it first. The official sponsor, Truffle Shuffle. All right, so, here at Sucio Talk, I like to take it all the way back. I know what you've been doing this year, and we'll get to that later. But before that, sir, where were you born?
Originally born in Orlando, Florida.
Orlando, Florida. Florida?
Yeah.
Damn. All right. And mom and dad, who are they? What do they do?
My parents met back there. My dad has always kind of been a hustler.
Okay.
An entrepreneur himself.
Very cool.
My dad at the time had a car lot, and then he bought a couple houses. He was renting out houses and met my mom. My mom needed a room to rent, and he rented. He was paying like $500 a month on this house, but rented it to my mom for like $300.
That's sick.
And then that's how they met. And so now my mom is a dog groomer, and then my dad is going for it.
There you go, man. Hell yeah. Mom and dad. Shout out to mom and dad. Very cool. So then you grew up there in Florida. Did you move at any point, or did you kind of stay there your whole school career?
Yeah, all the way up until about 18. It was always back and forth between Florida and Georgia.
Okay. Where in Georgia?
Right outside Atlanta.
Okay. And then what was all that about? Just jobs, or just wanting to move there because you had family?
Yeah, so my dad just kept growing his business. So he started his first car lot in Orlando, Mckinney Motors.
Okay.
I got a picture I'll show you with, he's got the mustache and
that's awesome.
Has all the old, like the Chevy vans and the Impalas on his lot.
Yeah. What year was this? What year are we talking?
I mean, the picture looks like it's in the 70s or 80s. So, I think he's like 56, and he started his first car lot when he was 18. It's 2020, so whatever that math is.
Damn, that makes me feel like shit. 18, he had his own car lot.
Yeah, he never worked for anybody else.
I was playing Grand Theft Auto.
Pretty much.
Damn. All right.
And so, he went up to Georgia, opened up some car lots up there, and then his goal was to retire before 45, and he did that. And then we moved to the Keys, where he, invested in real estate down there.
Very cool. And then the Keys, what was that like?
The Keys was cool, It's a very beautiful place.
Yeah.
Very small place. It's a lot like when I hear Tyler talk about Maine,
Yeah.
It's very similar, but like the exact opposite.
Right.
Whereas, growing up in the Keys, it's a small community. There's like 400 or 500 kids that go to the high school. And then everyone kind of does the same activities. Mm-hmm. Everyone either go out boating. The Keys is really cool. It's 100 miles long, right? And then there's about 90 different islands. And so it's just one long strip.
Okay.
And it's so long, but across doesn't go more than a mile wide.
Wow.
So you can, kind of ride your bike from one side to the other. And on one side you have the ocean, the other side you have the Gulf.
Whoa.
So, every day you can go out wake skating, wakeboarding, fishing.
Damn. Now, how long did you stay there?
For about 2 years. And then, moved down there, or actually about 5 years. So middle school up until second year of high school. And then
moved back to Florida?
Moved back up to Georgia.
Okay, very cool. And then you're in high school. What were your interests then? Were you cooking then? What were you doing?
In high school, I was basically always in trouble.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. Before I turned 17, I had 2 felonies.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to name those felonies?
I've really never told anyone these, but I figured we'd go for it with this podcast.
Let's do it, man. This is Sucio talk. Say what you feel, baby.
And so, as a kid, my dad was always working, and honestly, we kind of just took care of ourselves,
Yeah, for sure.
And so, the first time I really got into trouble was for grand theft of a firearm.
Okay.
And then the second time was for a DUI.
A DUI. Okay, got you. Well, the second one's pretty normal. I think everyone gets a DUI at least some point.
Yeah, it was.
It's like a common thing, especially in Napa, man. They're just looking for you. You like go get a morning coffee, you get a DUI. It's crazy. So I mean, you're in the system, right, for a little bit, and like, what made you not want to do that anymore?
Everything for us came down to 2008.
Okay.
And so, like I said, my dad was growing his business, and he always kind of had a drug problem.
Yeah.
And so, growing his business, always had kind of a problem with just anything that would help him go faster.
Yeah, I hear you.
Very hard worker, really brilliant guy, but just always thought he needs to be going faster. Mm-hmm. And when you always are trying to go faster, inevitably, the way life works, it will make you slow down.
Yeah, for sure.
And so when 2008 hit, he was just a little too far ahead of himself and lost his entire business.
Okay.
So at the time, he had, about 100 employees, was just just too far out ahead. Couldn't make rent, couldn't make payroll. Mm-hmm. And, I watched my dad lay every single person off that he ever worked with, and just kind of unbelievably spiral out of control.
Yeah.
And so as a very young kid, I watched my dad go from, being this, kind of heroic figure in my life to, in like 3 months, he totaled 3 cars.
Yeah.
He would stay up for 5-6 days at a time, doing meth, staying up, trying to figure out how to like save the business.
Yeah.
And then go drive a car somewhere, total it. And so as a young kid, I put together $3,000 to have an intervention for him. And he wouldn't go get help, so we completely broke off anything that had to do with my dad.
Mm-hmm. And that was you, your mom?
Yeah, and then I got 2 sisters and a brother.
Okay. So you all decided we got to go.
It's like, if you won't get help, all we want from you is your love. We don't need your money. We don't need anything,
Yeah, for sure.
And so that took, our family, and we went from being, well off to dead broke.
Yeah. Now, where did you move from there?
So we were still in Georgia, and so, my dad had a couple car lots, so we moved closer to Atlanta, but still on the outside in Alpharetta.
Uh-huh.
And we're in one house, and essentially it was either, find a way to figure this out, or, kind of get totally fucked.
Yeah,
and so,
exactly.
At 16 years old, honestly, like it was like overnight, I just cut out all the bullshit, got 2 jobs, started working 2 jobs, and just tried to figure out a way to make sure we could just pay bills at the house, know?
What were those jobs?
I worked in the morning at a breakfast restaurant.
Uh-huh.
I worked on the griddle station.
Okay. What are you
And
making? Little English muffins?
It was like on the right side, I had the waffle station.
Yeah. Oh, love
And
the
then
waffle station.
I made all the pancakes, and then everything that came off the griddle, the potatoes, the toast.
Sick, man. Hell yeah. So, and then what's your other job?
And so I did that 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then at 5 p.m., I would go to like an alternative school.
Uh-huh.
And then I did alternative school from 5 to 8. And then on the weekend, I worked at another breakfast restaurant.
Okay. So 2 breakfast restaurants, getting breakfast under your belt as a young cook. Now, at this point, are you like, this is what I want to do? Or are you like, this is my job?
Before everything went down with my dad, I was unrealistic on like how the world worked, And so I wanted to be a music producer. I was like, yo, I'll be a music producer 3 days a week, and then a chef 2 days a week.
That's a hell of a part-time job.
I was dead serious. I looked into like both like the schooling and everything, and I was like, yeah, that'll be awesome.
Okay.
And then I got this. I applied to, it was like 175 positions before someone would finally take me.
Yeah.
I had long hair at the time, and got this one job. And I remember the first days the restaurant was just unbelievably busy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That like level of like, like busyness or insanity where everybody doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like there's not one person that's like, all right, I'm going to take charge here.
Yeah.
And the first time I like saw that and felt it, I like just looked around and I was like, this is my home. This is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, everybody's looking at everybody else like, who's going to fix this? And it's like, well, I guess we'll wait till after service.
And
just like everybody for themselves.
100%. And just like just that rush of excitement,
Yeah.
And then doing things, seeing a result. Making these pancakes, okay, these are nice. Making them slightly different, okay, these are dope.
Yeah, these are not good. Constantly like correcting yourself and being like, nah, So from a young age, I mean, you were super self-critical and ambitious. I mean, 2 jobs, and then you say, I'm going to be part-time music producer, part-time chef. I wasn't thinking about that shit. I'll tell you what. I was like, how could I not work? You know what I mean? But that's pretty cool, man. So you're in this stage in your life. You're cooking. You finally have that moment where you're like, this is it. At that point, do you move on to another restaurant, or do you kind of just stay where you're at and then bide your time before you move on?
Yeah, so I